Welcome back everyone. In this video, I'm going to show you how to make Moroccan style lamb ribs with a chili mint chimichurri. Alright, so we're going to use our drum smoker for this cook. So we'll open it up, take our cooking grate out, we'll remove the heat deflector. And this isn't going to be an overly long cook, so I'll just fill our charcoal basket up about 1/3 of the way. Then I'll bury a fire lighter in there and light it up. Alright, and next we'll be making our spice mix for our Moroccan lamb ribs. So we'll start with 3 teaspoons of ground coriander seeds, 3 teaspoons of ground cumin, 3 teaspoons of paprika, 1.5 teaspoons of tumeric, 1/4 teaspoon of ground cinnamon, 1/4 teaspoon of ground ginger, 2 teaspoons of our garlic goals rub. If you don't have this, you can use some garlic salt or garlic powder, 2 teaspoons of cracked black pepper, and 2 teaspoons of kosher salt. Then you want to give that a really good mix. And you can have a little taste on your finger and adjust it to your liking. Alright, so lamb ribs, one of the very few cuts left you can get from your butcher for around $10 a kilo or under. They do require a bit of trimming and prep, so let's get stuck into it. So this top layer of fat, I like to just peel straight off. And then we can trim any excess. Like that there is quite thick. It's not going to render down properly through the cook. So I'm happy to leave a little bit of fat on there. I'm happy with that top side, not going to go too crazy. Then I'm just going to remove this flap from underneath. And that one is good to go. So I'll go ahead and get the rest of these done. As you can see, there's still a decent amount of meat on there. And the other thing I'll do, which I forgot to do to that first rack, is I'll just score that membrane on the bottom side. Alright, and now our lamb ribs are all trimmed. We can give them a season. First, I'm just going to give them a light coat in some yellow mustard to help our rub stick to the meat. And then we'll get some seasoned up in this Moroccan mix we've made. And then I'll season a couple up in our lamb layup rub as well. Alright, now our lamb ribs are all trimmed and seasoned. Let's check on these briquettes. Alright, so our briquettes are burning away nicely now. So what we can do is shut our lid, open both of our vents up, and then we'll give our drum 5 to 10 minutes to get up to just below our target temperature, which for this cook, I'm going to look to hold it at around the 300 Fahrenheit or 150 Celsius range. Alright, now we are pretty much at temperature, so we'll open it back up. We'll get a nice chunk of cherry straight on the fire, and we'll get our heat deflector back in. And our cooking grate and our lamb ribs. We'll close our lid and let these start smoking away. Alright, so now our lamb ribs are on. We're just going to let them go for an hour before we check on them. So while they're smoking away, let's make our chili mint chimichurri. Alright, so we want to start with around a 1/4 cup worth of finely chopped parsley. And that can go into a bowl. And then we want around a teaspoon worth of finely chopped mint into the bowl. And then we want half a large red chilli. If you like it a bit spicier, leave the seeds in. We just want to finely dice that. And that can go into the bowl. And then we want 4 cloves of garlic, finely diced as well. And that can go into the bowl. And then we want the juice of half a lemon. I like to roll the lemon around just to break up all those fibres, and you'll get a lot more juice out of it. And then we can add a good pinch of salt, pepper, teaspoon of chili oil, and I reckon just over a 1/4 cup of olive oil will do the trick. And give it a good mix. And you can have a taste, adjust it to your liking, and then set it aside until we're ready to use it later. Right, this is why we always taste. As soon as I taste it, I realised I forgot the red wine vinegar, so I'm going to add around 2 tablespoons of that in. Alright, that's much better. Now I can set it aside. Alright, these lamb ribs have been going for an hour now. Starting to get some nice drawback on them bones. They're looking really nice. I'm just going to give them a quick spritz with some water. And I'll close the lid, and I reckon we'll be ready to wrap these up in about 45 minutes. Alright, so we are about 1 hour 45 into this cook. And these lamb ribs are looking amazing. Have a look at that. I reckon it's time to wrap these up. Right, so I've just got some butter here. I'm going to place a piece down on the foil. Get these ribs on, meat side down. Get another bit of butter underneath and wrap them up. And now they can go back into the smoker, meat side down. Alright, and because lamb ribs are relatively thin, I'm going to give them around 45 minutes before we check on them for probe tenderness. So this cooking method is similar to smoking a thin rack of pork ribs. We're basically smoking them until we're happy with the colour and then wrapping them up until they're nice and tender. So we'll let these continue to cook away and we'll check back in soon. Right, and after 45 minutes wrapped up, I reckon these should be pretty close to being ready, if not already there. I'm just going to probe in between the bones. That's feeling super tender already, and that's at about the 210 Fahrenheit or 99 Celsius mark. This is probably the thickest one out of the lot, and that is feeling nice as well, so I reckon all of these are done. So I'm just getting them all out, unwrapping them, and we'll let them sit for a few minutes just to steam off and stop that cooking process, and we'll give them a short rest and get stuck into them. Now, if you wanted to finish these off with a glaze of your favourite barbecue sauce, you can absolutely do that. But I'm just going to try them as they are with that beautiful chimichurri. So we'll slice some of these ribs off. Let's have a look at that. Still juicy as, tender as. Going to get a little bit of that chimichurri on there, and then we'll have a taste. That is delicious. Now I'll try a rib with just the rub on it. On its own, that rub is amazing. I reckon I'd add a touch more salt to it next time, but that is super tasty. And look at that, a nice clean bone. That's exactly what you want to see. I've got to have another one with that chimichurri. Seriously, look at that bite through. That's perfect. Well, there you have it. There's how to make Moroccan style lamb ribs with a chili mint chimichurri. There is so many different ways you could do those. Use any of your favourite rubs or barbecue sauces. I reckon I'll make a cowboy butter to go with them next time. You've definitely got to try them. Give lamb ribs a go. They're a super cheap and tasty cut that doesn't take long to put together. So if you've got any questions, don't hesitate to ask them in the comments below. Shout out to all my YouTube members. Thanks for the support. I hope you enjoyed the early access to this video and all the other perks you get. If you're interested in becoming a member, check the link down in the description. But for now, that's the end of the video. So thanks for watching, and I'll see you all next time.